Opinions on live action remakes of anime?
No. There's a very clear difference in people that prefer DC to Marvel. Mm-hmm. And
DC are stupid. Whatever. If you can make me laugh, cry, get angry, get sad, reminisce, all of this, that's progressive. Wait. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Clickety clack.
Can they still hear me?
This is suspenseful. Oh my days. I forgot about this.
So
Jesus.
you could have the one ring.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What? Cool. So, Mel, what's your number 5?
Right. So.
Because, you know, we didn't go away or leave the set.
Oh. Oh. Sorry. Right. So my next one's a bit of a general one.
Okay.
And it's anime.
I was wondering whether you were going to do this.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to pick specific shows or pick...
It would be too hard.
Yeah.
Watching anime season to season like I do.
Yeah.
And it's becoming increasingly harder because almost everyone is about going to a new world that they've just stumbled into.
Uh-huh.
Or they've died and then been reincarnated. Oh.
Yeah.
Gets on my tits.
Well, what's some of your favourite animes?
Oh, that's so hard as well. Steins Gate is one of my favourites. It's a science-based anime, and it's like really hard-hitting, and it has like...
When you say like science-based, like it's about scientists or it's like science fiction? So it's like about scientists?
Yes, but
okay,
also
nice.
science fiction.
Right.
So like Steins Gate is this guy who's obsessed with being like a crazy scientist.
Right.
And he wants to be the first to invent time travel. And he does.
Don't we all?
But it doesn't really work out in the way that he plans it. So he works out that he can make he can reproduce this time travel effect,
Right.
and it's only a set amount of time each time. But then something happens every single time, and it's then just him trying to then go back to the point where it diverges.
Oh, so like that. What's that Voyager episode? Year of Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I like that because I like some time travel. Okay, I might have to check because on that anime episode, I'm
So
gonna
good.
literally get you in my.
And it's dark as well.
Yeah.
Like it deals with so many different issues throughout the course of the show.
Yeah.
But like the way you fall in love with each character, and it just gets sadder and sadder.
Yeah.
And it's like, please don't do. And then like things start to work out, and then think, okay, it's gonna have a happy ending. And then things kind of tilt.
So a little bit like a first season of like Attack on Titan. Like where you think like, oh, they're out the clear, and it's like, no, here comes a monster to gobble you up.
And speaking of love Attack on Titan. Not even just because of the hard-hitting goriness of it all, but the fact that
I have an Attack on Titan bag. It's somewhere in here.
but like the politics.
Oh yeah.
The ridiculous, like even just starting off when they're still in the walls.
Yeah.
The politics of that.
Oh
and
wait,
then,
so I've only watched up till half of season 2, and then I won't lie.
You've got so.
Yeah, I won't lie. When they started talking, I went no. It's no longer scary. I'm like, yeah, but this is what Billy told me. Yeah, she said,
once you get into the proper politics of it, you're like, that's darker than the rest of the show.
Yeah,
like
I will definitely
the overall politics
rewatching
of everything.
Yeah, I will be rewatching it because I saw a couple clips like on. So I don't know if this ever happens to you, but like like short clips of a TV show will come up on your YouTube thing. You're like, oh shit, I'm good. That's what happened to me with Game of Thrones recently. I was like, oh, maybe I'll rewatch Game of Thrones. And it's been happening to me with Attack on Titan. And now I've probably said it and my phone's right there. It's going to hear it. And then, I'll start getting all the ads because, But, I would not. I'm like, as you were saying about Star Trek, like I'm a casual anime fan. Like I would say my favorite animes were that I've watched so far. Some of them might surprise you. I did love Fairy Tail.
I liked it to a point. There was stuff I loved about it, especially because the same person did Rave Master, which was a very short-lived but really good anime series. But then my gripe with it is, one, he kind of continued with the Rave Master story, but in a different place and format.
Right, yeah.
And then he's now got 2 other shows where he's done the same thing. They're just slightly different. So, like, there's a new one that it's, like, sci-fi and futuristic, but it's basically Fairy Tail.
Right, yeah. Oh, okay.
It's the one that's on Netflix.
So it's like Warhammer versus, like, Warhammer 40,000. Yeah.
And, like, lots of people online are saying, oh, he doesn't recycle its stuff. It's just, there's similar... He likes to reuse characters and blah, blah. Clamp likes to reuse characters.
Yeah.
Not one of their stories are almost beat for beat the same.
Yeah.
Like, this new series, it's basically got Happy and another... It's got Plu. Happy and Plu.
Happy the cats?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're in it as well.
Oh, my days.
He's used Plu in Rave Master and then again in Fairy Tail.
But they're in different time periods.
Yeah.
And are they set in the same universe?
I don't know.
Is it like American Horror Story where it's like you kind of don't know, kind of is, kind of isn't?
I don't. I genuinely don't know. So like,
I can't wait to get my sister here and get you on. Like, it's going to be like the anime panel.
Plu was explained as being a celestial guardian.
Right.
For Lucy, who has the keys.
I guess that makes sense a little bit.
So Plu ended up actually being a spirit guardian. And that's how Plu was explained in being in that universe. That makes sense. But now, why is Happy in this new show?
Because he's very marketable. It's a blue cat with wings. Exactly. Like, and then they can make a lot of cuddly toys.
Exactly. So, in that respect, yeah. And then, like, my thing with Fairy Tail is it had a good story. The characters that you wanted to be shown more were not. Or they were nerfed. Like, Lucy is powerful as hell.
And she got
the boobs. She's just walking boobs. Same as Urza.
Yeah, I get the same frustration because I really like 7 Deadly Sins, and literally
the smutty parts of it.
Yeah, what's the girl's name?
Elizabeth.
Yeah, and she is Meliodas. Like, oh my fuck! I'm like, this is not
one of the powerfulest beings. There is, and you do nothing.
Yeah, it'd be like Storm creating a monsoon and be like, oh my god, my hair.
I mean, she would.
Well, she would, but no. Or the bitch would have had a sensible braid done. Make sure that shit not gonna get, yeah.
But yeah, that was also my gripe with like Bleach.
I've not seen Bleach, but I've heard good things.
Bleach is good. I much preferred it to Naruto because Naruto was just fan service,
right?
And that's a controversial opinion to a lot of people.
Doesn't Naruto like drift quite away from the manga?
I don't know. I didn't bother with the manga because
I know that they're one of the big ones. Will, do you know which is one of the big ones that's like drifted quite a lot away from the manga? Is it Bleach?
Bleach hasn't so much, but I think Naruto has quite a lot. Right. And it has a lot of filler episodes that have no character development whatsoever.
I'll see, that would piss me off. Yeah. Like, unless you're Star Trek Next Generation, you don't be doing that shit. But like
filler episodes.
Oh well, we got to talk about one of the. Would you agree that Death Note is one of the best animes? Because that seems to be
to a certain point.
We all know which point.
Some people don't, and I'm gonna let you get to that horror story on your own because that's what I do with everyone.
Watch the anime, not the live action.
No, never. Okay.
Opinions on live action remakes of anime?
No. No.
That's Michelle Visage when they're talking about Relaska Tux. No. No.
Just
fucking Netflix, like, I want to do a live action version of it. No.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
Do you know what I think?
Leave it where it is.
If they was to do Death Note, they should have done it in America. There's a new, because the whole concept of the Death Note is that there's multiple Death Notes. Like, why could you not have just done an American? Because okay, fine, cultural appropriation, whitewashing, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't have fucked up a beloved story, like.
And the way they did,
I've not watched it. I will not watch it.
So I watched this with my ex-fiance, and we both love Death Note.
Yeah.
Again, agree about the same point of...
Yeah.
And we were just like, let's see how bad, because the Japanese live action is also bad.
How long is it though? Because Death Note is long as like but how long is a film? Like, is it 2 hours?
It's too long.
Okay, like Batman vs Superman, like too long.
It's years too long. They could have done with 1 second, call it a day.
Oh yeah. The 1 second go watch the anime, now stream in on Crunchyroll or whatever the fuck.
I will tell you where I first paused it. 10 seconds in.
And you went no.
10 seconds in. Not even a minute. 10 seconds.
Fucking hell. Well, to let you all...
That's how bad the American Netflix live action.
I will not even let my eyes look upon it. I won't, because I've really like Death Note was one of the first animes I watched, and like that
also,
sold me.
If you want to see some of the worst writing you have ever, in fact, you need to. We might have to do it as an episode.
Oh Lord, what is it?
Just watching Death Note.
What, the American one?
Yeah.
Bitch, I'm gonna have to be so drunk. We're gonna need more prosecco than this. We're gonna need some gin. We're gonna need some rum. Okay,
because. Just like every it was almost every scene,
having to pause it and be like, what the fuck. In fact, we had this with a Star Wars episode not too long ago, and I don't know if I pissed y'all off, but I went, something happened, we'll get to it because it's on the list. But when that shit happened, I was like, wait, stop, pause it, break, we need a break.
Storms off to the kitchen.
I just We'll talk about it because it relates to my favourite character, which obviously is what I'm probably going to talk about when we get to that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think just to let y'all know, we will be having an anime episode very, very soon. We're going to have my sister Billy come on the podcast, and I'm going to be, because I've watched a fair bit of anime, but y'all are like aficionados. Like, you lot really like. I mean, Billy literally was telling me about an anime she watched this about, like a swimming team, and like. Just in media in general, if something don't have a spaceship or it don't have no dragons, don't have no magic, don't have no potions, no nothing like that, I'm probably not interested. Like, unless it's about like Black history or queer history or some shit like that, or you know.
But Free is an odd one because I watched it as well. Only the first.
I love how you even knew what the fuck I was talking about. Like, I'm like,
well, actually, there's multiple. But the one that I can guess that she was talking about was Free, and.
That does sound familiar, actually, yeah.
The fan service, because it's...
Well, it's about swimmers, so I'm sure the six-packs and everything be rippling and do-do-do-do.
There's only 2 people that have six-packs in it.
In a swimming team?
Yeah.
They must not win much.
They all just look good.
Okay.
And the way the animation for the water...
I gotta say, sometimes, it's kind of funny because I feel like women and queer people that are not... or our first inkling of attraction is not female, we kind of judge the cis straight males for their gaze on anime women. But you show us a hot anime guy, and bitch, we be the exact same, because I swear, what's his name in Seven Deadly Sins? Fox? But some begins with B. Bane? Not Bane. Barn? Yeah, clickety clack. I've been waiting to say that. Love the drag queens. We love you.
It is Barn, and my dad did a cosplay as Barn once.
I know. It was very problematic.
Oh, no.
I was like, because when you told me he was doing it, I was like, no, I can't. Oh my god, James can't watch this. But I was like, I cannot be in the house when he's like, no. Like, I can't see that in person. Like, I really can't. Because he's hot.
Are we talking about my dad still?
No! Right, moving on. I've already said first episode and we're done. Like, my god, my Twitter is blowing up already. Look at this shit. Oh lord, have you got any more favourite animes that you'd like to mention, or would you like to say
so many, but I will go more in depth about them on a full on.
See, and also I want to do in that episode, I want to tell you guys the animes that were my favorite, and I want you lot to recommend, because I have not got back into anime in such a long time that I think it's like about time that like.
But it's so hard as well, because you need to basically know what that person likes. So like a good,
well, that's what I'm saying.
That I saw someone post on the Blurred group that I'm part of on Facebook was, if you want to get into anime, start with like what you watch as like movies or TV shows.
That's where I drifted to the fantasy and the sci-fi and the horror. Like, so one I loved was I don't know if this is the full name, but Devilman.
Yes, Devilman Crybaby.
Yes. That was I literally saw a woman riding a guy, and then she ate him. Mm-hmm. Like, her body turned into a massive big set of gnashes, and you thought teeth was rough. Fucking hell. And it's like in the middle of like, it's like just after like some drug infested orgy, like bitch, I was kind of living. It was like Queer as Folk on acid.
Devilman Crybaby is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like that, I've got some recommendations for you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. On the anime episode, I'm going to literally sit in between you and Billy, and I'm going to be like, right, here's my these are my top 5 anime. What should I watch? Okay. Like, because I would I do, you know, like live action stuff. While Star Trek and Star Wars like get there, you know, while we're in between shows, you know, I can't just keep rewatching the same shit. I would like to watch some new stuff. But yeah, I guess Attack on Titan will be near the top of that list.
Yeah, you definitely need
Blue Exorcist is one of my favourite as well.
Oh, I'm so gutted it only got 2 seasons. So.
So I finished it?
Yeah, and a movie.
I've not watched a movie.
There's 2 seasons and a movie.
Okay.
The movie kind of like bridges the end couple of episodes of season 1 and then 2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I might be getting confused, but yeah, it's very short, and I think it only continued as a manga and not as a TV series, which is slightly annoying because it had a lot of premise.
Yeah. And again, hot main characters. Yeah. Right. Are you ready for my number 5?
Yes.
Okay. My number 5, and I know that if Will was doing a list, this would be his number 1, is Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
It's
a little bit hurt.
Look, okay, so Lord of the Rings was actually the first book series I ever read by myself. I read it before Harry Potter. Well, it was either Lord of the Rings or C.S. Lewis, Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe series. I can't remember which one I finished first.
Okay.
But within that time frame, like, and yeah, like I remember like loads of the teachers, like during reading time, they used to tell my mum, like afterwards, they'll be like, is Lord of the Rings really like appropriate for them to be reading? And it was like, what, we're just not really sure it's really like a book for their age level. And my mum was like, have you actually asked them like what the what the plot is, like what I think of the characters and all that? Bitch, you ask me, I'll tell you straight away. Favorite character is between Gandalf and Legolas. Like, but mostly just because
Galadriel.
Well, okay.
No.
Let me tell you this. It wasn't until I got into the full faggotry of it all that I really appreciate Galadriel. You know what I mean? Because when she goes, and I will be a queen, beautiful and terrible. That's cunt. Like, she'd be turning fucking, not sepia. What's it? Like, negative. What's that fucking filter called? You know what I mean? Basically, when she goes Super Saiyan, like that's lit. Like that's cunt. The reason why, I mean, once you hear my top 4, you'll probably understand. Okay, like it was this was the hard shit. Like the top 5, it was really hard because I don't like. We only rank this just to like, you know, spice it up a bit. But in a perfect, you know, they're all kind of. I love them all for different reasons. Yeah. Especially the top 2. Like the top 2 was hard for me. But Lord of the Rings, it was the first book series I read. Mm-hmm. I understood from a very young age that like pretty much any action, adventure, sci-fi, fantasy is kind of loosely based on Lord of the Rings. Like
massively.
You know, you look at the Star Wars original trilogy, you look at actually all the trilogies apart from
the unmentionable.
I don't even want to say it. I don't want to speak power into that.
We go leave those big floppy dumbasses where they were.
100%. So, but with Lord of the Rings, like, I think out of every book, film, TV adaptation, whatever, out of all the ones we've said, the best. Like, obviously the films miss out quite a bit, but I don't think the films miss out, like, things that make me go...
Yeah.
Well, apart from maybe Tom Bombadil, I would have liked to see... Do you see him in the Hobbit films?
Nope.
He does make one appearance.
Is he?
Very briefly. Because wait. Yes, I think he does. Just before they go to wow. I've completely drawn a blank.
They'd be travelling somewhere from somewhere.
No, the tavern.
The pony. The thingy pony.
Yes.
Oh, what's it called? The prancing pony.
You said the bony.
No. But, like, that would have been really cool.
God. What's wrong with me?
And then also, like, the Lord of the Rings games. I love battle strategy games and Battle for Middle-earth. I don't know if you ever played the game. Oh my god. I so want to do a LAN party of that. Like, the game. I love that game.
For me, though, the ultimate Lego Lord of the Rings.
Wait, is in the actual sets or the game?
The game, the sets.
I had the game on either PSP or PS Vita. I can't remember which one I had at that point. But I just loved that it was free roam around Middle-earth. Like that, because for me, I haven't put any games on this, but some of these, like Lord of the Rings and another one on the list coming up, like, games is a big part of it, like 100%. And I really, when I lived in Eastbourne, I got super in to Games Workshop, and I started with Lord of the Rings, and then I moved on. Well, I still did Lord of the Rings, but like I moved on to Warhammer 40,000 because I was like, sci-fi, come on.
Yeah.
And I was confused at first because when I first saw Warhammer 40,000, I thought it was Halo. I was like, because it does kind of look like Halo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think I'd just seen the Marines, and then what would the alien race, but they like try
the Tyranids.
Yes. What they got? What?
Tyranids.
Tyranids. That's it. Yeah. But I bet you can guess which race I played as.
The Eldar.
Of course. And if I was in Lord of the Rings, I'd be an elf.
Yep,
but I got, you know what? I've got a sad story to tell. So we'll get a little bit. So basically, growing up, like getting into all this stuff, like all these nerd fandoms, like obviously as a kid and even as an adult, you imagine yourself in this world. Like, how would I be? You know, it's escapism. So
I think I know where you might be going with part of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in every single thing I was into, Star Trek, Star Wars, Hunger Games, even I knew what district I'd be in. You know, all of these things, I always was able to find a way for not necessarily me as myself with the same personality, but like an imprinted version of myself, like in the universe. You know, it was very easy for me to come up with a Jedi and you know, a Starfleet officer and all of that. But Lord of the Rings was hard because not only the people I would want to be in is the elves, like you know, come on. Not only are there no black elves, there aren't no black hobbits. There ain't no black men. Like, everybody be white, and I'm like, well, how? Because you know, we all know people evolved from black people. I'm like, where did these albino people come from? Like, where did they pop? They can't. And then the only really people of color you know are like from the east, and they've got masks on, so you don't really actually know really too much what they look like. And really the only people of color or people that were close to our skin tone are the orcs.
Yeah.
So and I really, this really became apparent to me when I did Games Workshop and when I played Battle for Middle-earth, because you could create your own characters and you literally, there wasn't like, I don't know, some people are gonna be like rolling their eyes or whatever, like it's like, oh, it's not a big of a deal, but it is when you're a kid, like, and it does really shape how you see the world. And you're like, okay, shit, like
in every fighting game there was only ever one or two black characters, and you would always pick one of them. In it. Even if you didn't particularly like them, you just pick up, well, it's the only black character, so
for real.
There we go.
And like so what I had done is when I was doing Games Workshop and I had my little elven army and I wanted to create myself as an elf in the army, so I painted with a brown skin tone, and as a child, my explanation for this elf having brown skin was that I'd contracted some like dark magic disease that like a ring wraith or someone had like cursed on me, and like, you know, and I think my backstory was like I was like one of the princes or some shit. I don't know what the fuck I was. Anyway, but But I remember telling that story to someone not that long ago, and they were like, "Oh, that's really sad." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess it is." Like, because like the only way I could see myself fitting in that universe is if there was like some horrible deformity that was like cursed upon me about like some evil being. And it's like, so I'm really glad in this new Lord of the Rings TV show, like they are like, one of the first shots is that the child in me cried. Like, I mean, I did cry. Like, literally just seeing that brown-skinned elf pull back the... Like, I was like, oh, that was literally my little Games Workshop character. Like like an elf with a bow and like... Come on. Like, who... Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing more. And it looks like they're doing more of that in the new Game of Thrones series. Like, you know, just, you know... So, yeah.
But the Game of Thrones series makes sense. Because everyone's kind of very... specifically placed.
And it's a house. The house that seems to be the Black House is a house that isn't there in the new in the Game of Thrones stuff that we already know. So they obviously are going to get wiped out. Like, I think Valerion is that? No,
it's most of the. Well, there's a couple of black houses if I remember correctly, but they're not larger ones. They're quite small.
Right. Yeah.
And they mostly stem from people that came over from the east. Yeah. So...
Because we're always coming from somewhere. We're always coming from the east or the east. God, as writers, humans, we're not very like, you know, not really coming up with like varied ideas.
No, but he kind of made it make sense because he basically went, okay, so if Game of Thrones is meant to be based on Tudor England, I'll then flip everything round slightly. So where all of the black characters tend to come from is to the south, and then, well, not in actually Westeros, in Essos, and they're slightly to the south, slightly to the east. So it makes sense. Like, okay, he basically recreated Africa, and then Asia. You've got, I think it's Quinn people as well,
right? And
then so you've got all the nations kind of covered. But obviously in the show it mainly focuses on Westeros.
Do you think in Lord of the Rings they're gonna like try and explain new skin tones that we didn't see in previous things?
I don't. I mean, they might.
It's a bit
if they're trying to kind of be a bit woke about it.
They should like.
They might. But
could you imagine if it's the backstory I just said?
I mean, hopefully not.
Oh, but then you know I am magic. Then you would know. Right, what's your number 4?
Right. My number 4 is Marvel in general. Again, one of my only 2 generalization ones. Well, actually, no, they've got one more.
Does this include the MCU, or is this comics, or just the MCU, or...?
So, predominantly the comics and animated works.
Nice.
The MCU is a bit hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
I've liked the way that they're going with trying to be more comic book accurate.
Yes.
And now kind of linking everyone's stories together.
I thought WandaVision was like a great start. I was like, okay, I see you now. I was like, okay, I really did think we were going to get like a reverse House of M though. Like, but anyway, go on.
Hopefully we will get to that point with the new kind of plan that they have going on. But as we were discussing before we started filming and stuff, the way that Marvel is now planning to do all the really cool parts of Marvel with like the mutants and vampires and stuff, they've now started to explain using the multiverse stuff, which I cannot wait. I just hope
it's not pointless fan service.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because I got pissed off when I saw Quicksilver in WandaVision.
No, because that was the start. That's the start. Just the fact that they have Quicksilver and Wanda's kids.
Oh no, Wanda. Okay. So the Wanda's kids, I was here for it because my second favorite group in Marvel is the Young Avengers. Come on, Billy and Teddy, queer representation. Like, was that part of your growing up a little bit? I think we all kind of live vicariously through either one of them.
Not so much them. I mean, it was just it was every aspect of the X-Men as a whole. They are my favourite Marvel characters, without a doubt.
Yes.
Without a doubt. But I love Marvel as a whole because it was more like, so people say there's a very clear difference in people that prefer DC to Marvel. And
DC are stupid.
I mean,
I'm not even sorry.
No.
Y'all keep seeing these movies, they're gonna keep making them. Just fucking stop seeing the films and then they'll reset the whole shit. Anyway.
I mean, we did it with the X-Men series.
Well, I thought they did. Days of Future Past was my favourite X-Men film until the next film when they just didn't stand by any of the shit that they did.
So, no, Days of Future... Was it that one? Yes, it was.
They had the Sentinels and, like, they had all the cast, like...
Darwin. You know, the guy that basically can change himself to any material that he wants. That's the opposite.
Oh, yes.
His power is basically to adapt to anything.
Yeah. Oh, and then he dies with the fucking ball of fire in his mouth. They had to kill the black guy off in the first half, or otherwise they can't release the movie.
But, like, really? the one person...
And he was probably the only charismatic, like, person of that cast. In that scene is in
and
like
Bishop
those
too.
kids.
They killed off Bishop.
Oh yeah.
With his power.
But then they kept fucking Halle Berry as Storm. It's like fucking God, I'm getting sad thinking about it. If they just bring back Patrick Stewart, I'll be alright. But I really want to see a new cast. Like I want to see like
the
casting.
aim is to kind of merge the old and the new casts a little bit.
Ugh.
A little bit. I don't know how much.
If I see Hugh Jackman, I don't have a problem with him, but Sis has enough to do. Go do your little, what's it called? The musical? Greatest Showman.
Oh.
Go do that. Like, go do that. Take that on tour, do the sequel, I don't care.
Well, here's another controversial opinion. I fucking hate Wolverine.
As a character. In the comics as well.
Yeah. Because he's gotten this massive hype spike that is not warranted. But in
the early
bitch has
stuff,
metal fucking claws and a metal skeleton and can heal fast.
But it's the
need for him to be as popular as he is.
No, 100%. It's kind of like a less extreme version, but kind of how I felt in Star Wars with Boba Fett. I'm like, why are y'all so hyped? He does nothing. Like up until recently.
Yeah.
But even so, we'll get to that. But I do agree. I do agree.
Overhype of Wolverine.
He is absolutely overhyped. However, he does, like, some of my favourite moments in the X-Men do involve him. I love when him and Storm start dating.
Oh.
That is one of the most iconic comic book covers of all time. Fucking date night. Wolverine and... Oh. Do you know... Because, okay, I was upset when her and T'Challa broke up. But, spoilers. But...
They've had time.
Yeah, they've had time. That was 2012, I think. Fucking
that was earlier.
No, it was Avengers vs X-Men. That's 2012.
No, there was an older iteration of that.
No. When they broke up.
Okay.
When they divorced, it was during Avengers, or like just after Avengers vs X-Men, or something like that. And then she starts dating Wolverine when he becomes the head teacher of the Jean Grey School of Higher Learning.
He just needs to keep it in his pants. He's shagging his way through half of the Marvel cast.
Yeah, for real. But
not just the X-Men.
But one of the best moments for me of Wolverine is when it's Dark Phoenix, or it's still the Phoenix part of the saga, and Jean's in the hospital, and you follow Wolverine for like 2 pages, like he's walking down the street, he's thinking all these thoughts, and he's deciding, should I buy flowers for her? Oh, is that weird? Oh, I don't know, because obviously he loves Jean. And you know, he's such like this, and these are things that you never see Wolverine say out loud.
Those things I love about him. I just don't. It's the fandom.
Yeah, 100%.
The fandom hype. No.
Yeah.
For me, that lowers.
Because let's be honest, Gambit is the true sex symbol. That is the true sex symbol of the X-Men. Let's be for if.
And we don't have a screen.
Sherry.
Like the fact that we did not get the Gambit film.
I know, but that's the thing. Was there anyone hot enough at the time to play him? Because he must be gorgeous. No.
I didn't agree.
No, Gambit needs a bum. He needs a bum. He needs a bum.
Speaking of which, have you seen the new Hellfire Club release?
What? What, comics?
No, the Hellfire Gala. You know, the fashion show thing they do every year.
No. Oh god, we got what? Okay, show me after. Oh my life.
First of all, Storm it last year for the Hellfire Club Gala. It's basically like the Met Gala,
right?
But in the X-Men universe. So they all turn up in modified outfits.
Wait, but what was this in the comics?
Yeah.
Oh, see. So that's what I was trying to. So earlier when I was talking about X-Men, I basically just like couldn't afford comics for a while, and because I fell out of it, I just couldn't. But because I remember when I fell out another time, Marvel Now just started, so I was able to jump in quite easily.
Yeah.
And New 52 had like just started in the DC, so I was able to jump into Gotham. Oh my god, Death of the Family. Oh, anyway, but yeah, like I would like to jump in now that we're in better financial positions nowadays. I would love to get back into it. Especially
but when I show you some of the fashion,
oh god,
like,
so who's there? Who we got? Emma Frost.
Oh, of course we have Emma Frost.
I was about to say, I bet she turned out.
She looked puss.
Yeah. Storm.
Puss.
Who else would give puss? Dazzler. She turn up.
Of course.
Oh yes! I think giving my girl Dazzler love. Dazzler needs to appear properly in the fucking like the MCU. Do it.
Well,
like,
there's a reason she hasn't, because that's why they created Jubilee. So Dazzler was originally a Motown character,
right?
Like they in partnership with Marvel, and then Motown kind of obviously went under, and the character wasn't really as popular.
Yeah.
So they basically just gave most of Dazzler's powers to Jubilee.
Right.
So that it wasn't affiliated one with Motown.
Right.
And have that restriction.
And now Jubilee, I don't even know if this is still the case, but she's like a vampire now, is she not? Did she get bitten by...
She got turned back.
She got turned back. Okay, yes. Fair enough.
Yes. Yeah. Because, the vampire virus got cancelled out.
Right.
I cannot remember the exact story of how. But yeah, half of the fucking main X-Men team did.
Oh, yeah.
Storm being one of them.
Do you know what?
Had a kid.
I cannot wait
who is also... Actually, I think the kid is still a vampire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, who was the... Oh, you know, we have to get into this in another episode. Right. So you're what was that, number 4?
Marvel, yes.
Number 4. Oh, Lord, this Prosecco. Okay. We're turning into brunch hunters.
Never. How dare you?
You can never say, oh, I think you might like my number 4. I think you might like my number 4. Okay. Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like... Again, you're gonna hear this a lot. It was something me and my sister shared. Like, we watched it from day 1 till the final day. I just think it is...
Emily!
And it's... And you know I'm not exaggerating. Like, fucking hell.
In the slightest.
Oh my god. But we literally like... And I really had such skepticism about Korra, but Korra... I'm not going to say they're both as good as each other, because I do think they hit different.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly do think, especially Avatar: The Legend of Aang, because it was before Korra and it was first. I think it actually is legit one of the top-rated TV shows of all time. Like, not animated, not...
I can't remember where it places, but yeah, I think...
It's, like, up there, isn't it? Yeah, like, it's... Yeah, like, It just, like... I love a piece of media that can make... Whether it's a book, film, game, TV, whatever. If you can make me laugh, cry, get angry, get sad, reminisce, all of this... That's pretty good. Maybe I should be a songwriter. You know what I mean? But those, if you can make me do all of those things, you're S tier. Like, you're S tier. And I just think, like, you'll know why it's not, but like, if it wasn't for the top 3, like, it's an easy contender for number 1. Like, it just, like, you know, but I didn't grow up.
I can gauge where...
I think you know what the last 3 are. But yeah, and honestly, like, yeah, Korra, I just wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was.
Yes.
Like, it was so... and I loved how it pushed the boundary.
I had to rewatch it later on.
That's what Billy did. I
started watching it and I was like, nah.
That's what literally Billy's reaction.
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until they re-released it on Netflix just recently. What, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
About that, yeah.
And I was like, right, you know what? I want to rewatch the whole of the series in one fell swoop. It took me like 3 days.
Yeah.
I watched them.
Oh my god,
3 days. From Legend of Aang to the finish of
Korra. 3 days of all of those?
Yes!
Girl.
I binge watched that whole thing.
Fucking
I did not care. I was not sleeping well anyway, so it was fine.
And y'all laugh at me how quickly I go through Harry Potter.
Yeah, but not 8 times consecutively.
Not the films, the audiobooks.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, what? Don't say. What would your element be? What sort of bender would you be?
Quick, this is easy for me.
Quick question.
Water. Even though I don't like the cold, but I could deal with it. Or I could be a waterbender living in the swamp. A waterbender that was born
A swamp bender.
No, because they're actually waterbenders.
Well, yeah, but it's swamp.
I guess. Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Who would you be? I think I know what the answer is.
I would go water usually.
Would you go water? See, I was going to say either air or fire for you.
See, here's the reason why I would not choose air.
Uh-huh.
You're very limited. You are very...
Yeah, unless you're like a master, like if you're like, what's his name in Legend of Korra?
You can't even... There are no other elements really that stem from air. Air is its own thing.
But air is also about your energy and your chakras.
Yeah.
It's very reflective.
I mean, they with Aang, they made a very loose connection to it being about light and power.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how they, but
yeah,
they're allowed to do what they want. But at least like earthbending transitioning into metal bending and water bending transitioning into blood bending.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Like, water technically is the best one because that has so
I guess air. Well, we've seen someone take the air out of someone's lungs.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty fierce.
Like, it's a good power,
fierce, yeah.
But you're limited in the sense that it can't evolve.
Oh, water is for sure the OP. Like, it is OP as fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's like, because it looks fucking cool. When literally,
the blood bending fight.
I was gonna say that. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Actually, yeah. But also, one of the best fights in Avatar is in the Crystal Caves in the end of season 2,
when she's just about, and then.
Oh my god, I'm getting chills thinking about it. Like that fucking fight, like, and then when you see Aang go into that Avatar, sorry, spoilers, but girl, you've had time. When you see Aang go into the Avatar state, and then the lightning, cliffhanger, the fuck, the relationship between Katara and Zuko.
I was watching that when it was airing the week.
Yeah,
and the way they took their time.
Oh my god.
With that,
there's only one other show that has kept me in such suspense, and we'll get to it. But yeah, that, oh my god, waiting for season 3 of Legend of Aang was unbearable.
Painful.
Unbearable, because you're like, is Zuko going to stick with these cunts? Is fucking Iroh gonna get freed? Is fucking Aang gonna honestly, like, the best character, literally your idol, like, is literally like
the way I want to open up a tea house just because
for real. But yeah, let's move on, or we'll be here all day, because honestly, like, what is your number 3? Number 4? I don't know, I can't count.
We are on 3 now. Vampires. So my last general one. Everything from Anne Rice to, well, actually no, let's scratch that. Not everything. Twilight is not a vampire series. We do not include it in the pantheon. We shall leave it there. Thank you very much.
So what are your top favourite vampire depictions?
Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice.
Interview with a Vampire. Oh god, suddenly just jumped out my head. What's the one with Aaliyah?
With Aaliyah?
Is it? No, it's not Queen of Darkness. It's
something like that. It's something like that.
Oh my god! It's
Clickety clack.
Can you phrase that in a search, please?
Aaliyah, vampires, go.
Yeah, basically.
I'll talk it into my phone.
What was your opinion of the Underworld series?
It could have been so much better.
It could have been.
And like you have literally one of the oldest kind of war stories between vampires and another mythical creature.
Yeah.
And you manage to just not really go anywhere with it.
It's like, there's like those series, and I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. I guess like, let me look at my list. There was something I said earlier where I was like, it's more enjoyable being like imagining yourself in the world than actually watching the media.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't know what I was talking about when I said that. But Underworld is one of them. I'm like, oh bitch, I would love to be a vampire in that fucking universe. However, give me some new films. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like there's so much material that they could use there.
Yeah.
But it just seems to kind of start to go somewhere and no.
And also, I kind of thought after the third film, and I didn't mind them coming back to do another Celine story, but you don't really need Kate Beckinsale. Like I feel like they are, because they're still making
and
films.
She don't do much no more.
Oh well, yeah, and I'm like, they're stretching it out. It's like fucking Rick in Walking Dead. It's like, oh, just die, just fucking die, like.
And spoiler alert, that ain't on my list.
Oh lord, no, it's not on my list either. And it almost made my honourable mentions. It almost did.
Nope.
But I decided
because
that
I stopped. There was a point where
I think we probably stopped at the same time.
Well, actually,
Round Negan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I stopped.
I was there too.
Yeah.
But you know another reason why it would never make my the difference between the graphic novel and the TV show.
Yes, after about season 3, it really starts off.
More specifically, because they kept that bitch in for 3 seasons, and
who the fuck are you talking about?
The one that should have died in season 1, and they kept her around until they got to I can't even remember her name now. The blonde bitch.
Oh, Andrea.
Yes.
That's her name. Yeah.
Why?
Did she die in the? I have not read the graphic novel.
She dies
long.
like that.
She died in the beginning.
She dies like just before. I think she dies like just before they leave the city.
She was a bit of an annoying character. Like
a bit.
Yeah.
I wanted that.
Because sometimes I see her in other shit.
Every week I wanted her to die. I was like, someone just throw something accidentally and just magically hit her in the head. And then, oh no. No, I can't, no.
Just, have you watched What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
So funny.
Literally.
So. I've not seen the series, I've seen the movie.
The series is amazing.
I've heard the series is really good.
It's so good. You have to watch it.
But the ridiculousness in the movie.
And it's the same in the film. In fact, it kind of goes further.
Okay.
Like, there's more magic and shit, but it's funny as fuck. I was kind of, because I don't know if no, forget what I was going to say. No, whatever. But yeah, any other favourite vampire depictions?
Oh, so many. Alucard in Helsing. Just the most boss vampire there will ever be. And oh god, so many. Buffy vampires are quite cool.
Of course.
And one of my honourable vampire mentions is Castlevania, the series.
I've not seen the series yet.
I've only seen 4 episodes, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it's a really great style anime wise, and it gets dark.
I love the artwork style. It's just and
Alucard is hot.
In almost every media, actually. It's really bugging me that I cannot remember the name of that Aaliyah film.
The clickety-clack.
It's Queen of something, and I can't remember.
Is it not Queen of Darkness? That sounds right. I know what you're talking about. I can literally picture it in my head.
Because that outfit.
Yo, bitch, if there ever was a true need for the word puss.
Right, yeah.
By the way, I have a song called Puss Puss. Go stream it on Spotify.
Queen of the Damned?
That's it. Oh my god. You know what? You know how I was telling you about my Japanese music?
Uh-huh.
That was going to be the name for my fan base. The Damned.
The Damned.
So
nice.
Oh my god. I literally named it after a vampire series. Like, oh my god.
Aaliyah, beyond the grave, you're flustering my sister here.
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned.
It's just,
yeah.
And like the fact that she couldn't finish the movie upsets me greatly because imagine what they could have done.
Imagine her career today. Like, she would be a legend. Like, I mean, she will forever be a legend. But anyway.
But so many good vampires.
Yeah.
Like even Nosferatu.
Going
all the way back.
Yeah.
Like the effects that they use, the visualizations of it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's still creepy to watch today.
Did you ever read the book series or the comic book series Necroscope?
I didn't.
Oh, I will lend you it. It's so good.
One book series that I loved growing up was the Darren Shan book.
Yes!
Yes!
We'll get to it. Okay, hold that thought, because we will get to it. Oh no, fuck it, let's talk about it now. It's vampires. Ah! Okay, so Darren Shan is in my honourable mentions. It was in my top 10, but like, oh my god, I really want to go. I got signed Darren Shan books upstairs. Like, I met him at Waterstones in fucking Brighton. I was dying, like, oh my god.
You know what?
But he was signing. Oh yeah, go on.
When he meets the black girl.
Yes! Oh my god, but the film is terrible.
Again, stop making live action shit.
Make it a cartoon! A TV series.
That would be the easiest thing to do.
My god, I swear.
Like the amount of flying that they do.
Yeah! And oh my god, and I hate that they've stuck 3 books into one film. I hate when they do that shit. I hate it.
I mean, they're not long books.
But I feel like there is enough story to tell. Or they could easily be a season each. Like a TV show, animated TV show. Are you hearing me? Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, Lord.
But like growing up and being like, okay, I am absolutely enamored with the idea of vampires and the way that they kind of spoke to me, because I was like the quiet kid that didn't really want to speak to anyone. That was a sly hint that I had social anxiety. But like the fact that they have to hide away in the night and blah, 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 all these things like really and then the Darren Shan books comes along where it's like this random kid who's not having a great time, and at the time as well I was not having a good time.
No, for real, same. I literally was I could not put those books down. Like I could not, like, and there have been a few book series where I was like, I found it hard to put down, but out of all the book series I've ever read, I read that at every opportunity I could be on the train. I missed so many train stations because I was reading that, like, literally. But I always say this to people: if I got the whole thing, and then I also, because when he was signing, he was doing the Demon Later series, which I haven't read, because it also freaks me out that it's written in the present tense. That fucks with my head. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's in the present tense. I have to double check. I'm pretty sure I double checked this recently with you, Will, didn't I? And I did find out. But anyway. But yes, I love that you said Darren Shan Saga. Oh my god. Ooh, that should be a whole episode. Because I think that series... I always tell people, if you like Harry Potter, you will like the Darren Shan Saga. It's not the same, like, magic school. But it's like... Written. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's like... Written. Yeah. Like, yeah. And it's really...
it's darker, it's grittier, it's more emotional as well.
And it's kind of a bit timeless as well, because it's it could kind of be set in anywhere within modern history, like you know.
So they start off quite far back, but then they come up.
Oh, decades of time.
They come up to present time, and then they go ahead as well. To where we were reading at the time. My only gripe, I think, if I'm remembering this correctly,
I wonder if it's the same as mine,
is the way that it ended with the two.
I was literally about to say, no spoilers, because honestly, go read the books. Like, it's so good.
But I was not pleased. I was not pleased.
The last 3 books, there were a few things. No, not the Lake of Souls. The other 2 last books. I was a bit like, but I did like how
I love it overall.
Yeah, no, overall it is fantastic.
Like Mr. Crepsley.
Oh,
just
Daddy. Hey, I always go for older. Right. You know what it is. Okay, number 3.
No, but your order of them though, because I know what I'm.
Okay, so number 3 is Harry Potter.
I thought it might be,
and it's with a heavy heart because, like, oh god, like Harry Potter, like, I can't even, like, understate it. Like, Harry Potter saved my goddamn life. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I also do attribute like things that saved my life, like my top 2. But like, I grew up with Harry Potter. Like, you know, I was always more into the books, but I'm pretty sure for almost every film I was almost the exact same age as the cast members, like
Okay.
almost. Like I think some films it kind of like because they had like a year gap or a 2-year gap or like, but by the last films it was back like we were all 17 at the same time. So I read Lord of the Rings and Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe first. Like, that was my first book series. But, like, Harry Potter, my mum started reading them to me. And then by the third book, I think I was, like, reading it alone. Like, or, like, but we still kind of... It was kind of cool. Like, me, my mum and my sister, we'd, like, read or listen to the Harry Potter books separately. But, like, all at the same time. So, like, we would, like... Oh, have you got to this bit? Okay. Oh my god, what do you think about da 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 da? Especially when the last book came out. Oh my god, our house was a mess. Like, but yeah, we used to like, you know, get the books at midnight, like all that shit. Like I always wanted to go to Hogwarts. I was very upset on my 11th birthday when I didn't get a letter. It's not a joke. Like, I literally was like devastated. Because I was like, clearly I'm not meant to live with these muggles. Like, clearly. Like, I'm clearly like... And then after that, I was convinced I was an alien.
It's going to be an ongoing joke now.
Oh my god. Oh, there are some stories you just shouldn't share. Just so much... Oh, it's not even the worst one. It's not even the worst one. Go, you know some of the worst ones. But yeah, fucking... I can't... You know, let's address the fucking turf in the room. Like, fucking J.K. Rowling. Yeah, she... I'm just going to say this. Like, I might have written, like, a tweet or a Facebook status about this at some point and probably deleted it. But, like, I don't really talk about, like, how I feel about it. But it's, like, outside of, like, close friends. But I think J.K. Rowling really doesn't realise or doesn't care to realise how much the queer part of her fandom kept the Harry Potter franchise alive. Now, I'm not saying... Of course, Harry Potter was, like, the most popular maybe apart from, like, Star Wars, I think, is, like, the most popular... Or now, the MCU. It was the biggest franchise of all time. But post the Harry Potter films... Bitch... let me tell you, anything Harry Potter came out, Pottermore, any of the games, the new fucking Hogwarts Legacy, first thing they're addressing is like, oh, what are going to be the queer options? Because people understand that, like, the queer fandom of Harry Potter is almost because all of the biggest Harry Potter fans I know are queer people. Literally, all of the biggest Harry Potter fans I know, and it's so interesting when we gather to talk about it because, like, she's obviously such a turf and she's not relenting. It just seems like, you know... And
what shocks me as well is the fact that she doesn't realise that's the way she was writing. Which, again, like the way that Stan Lee deliberately, along with all the other writers for Marvel and stuff, would write about black experiences, queer experiences... Asian experiences. Yeah,
and a lot earlier in human timeline, like in the 60s and shit. So, like,
how did she not realise she was writing essentially queer escapism stories? Because
it's like... I think, because, you know, I don't know, I'm not J.K. Rowling, but, like...
Before, so she can't be...
Well, yeah, well, I'm thinking that, like, you know, she came up with this magic school and like, we as queer people or people who are minorities or ostracized from society, you know, there's this secret school where you go and you find out that you're actually really special and you're really rare.
We gravitate towards that.
Exactly. Stuff. You know, it's why we love the X-Men. Like, why the X-Men are our favorite people in the Marvel universe. Like, you know, it's just like what we gravitate towards. So, yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's been very upsetting and very, like, it's hard for me because, like, I've never been to Harry Potter World at Universal. Up until, I mean, I can't say it's not my dream to go, but, like, I know that indirectly that puts money in her.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I know that I'm buying a park ticket for Universal and it's like the whole park, but, you know, they pay for the licensing and then that goes to, you know, the woman's a billionaire. Yeah. And that's how she, you know, and that gives her more resources to spout her views that I know are harming people. And, you know, it's hard because, like, I genuinely, you know, I have a Ravenclaw. I'm a Ravenclaw. What house are you?
Ravenclaw.
Yes! Come on now. Will Hufflepuff? Yeah. That wasn't a read! I just already knew! That does come across in the read though, doesn't it? It's like, Huffpuff, yup.
Typical Ravenclaw read.
Look, no, we all
But I
know
don't
Gryffindors
care.
are the shadiest. I always said this was always something that I used to make my friends crack up with in school. As I say, could y'all imagine if we was at Hogwarts while Harry, Ron, and Hermione were there? And I'm like, you love to think that we would all be best buddy friends with them. No, this would be me in the library. Mel, did you hear that fucking Harry Potter boy just won 100 points for literally nothing? I swear to God, I'm sick of him. And like, the first year when they're like, and Ronald
so
Weasley.
That good.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
man.
Gryffindors.
And I'm like, motherfucker, we're Ravenclaws, bitch. This Hermione Granger answered 2 questions right. Bitch, everyone in our class is as smart as she is. Like, if she was that smart, she'd be a fucking Ravenclaw.
Exactly.
But yeah, anyway.
But no, they're just stupid.
No, yeah. But yeah, I'm sure that we will have a Harry Potter episode at some point. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to go into too much detail because, like, I know it's weird because I've put it at number 3. But like it does bring a lot of sadness to me because also rereading Harry Potter as an adult and post J.K. Rowling's transphobic shit, I don't want to dispel more people's like view of Harry Potter and like ruin it for them, like especially if you're queer or trans, like and trans, like you can see some of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I know some people on the internet because I've seen it on Reddit and shit. But like I noticed this when I was rereading it during lockdown, and I went, "Oh my god, you can see her transphobia." The character Rita Skeeter, the reporter.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, she. Have you seen the Harry Potter films?
Kind of. I wasn't the biggest Harry Potter fan.
Oh, well, that's fine. That's
Turns
fine.
out I was a good thing.
Oh yeah, because trust, I was never really like the films.
Because for me, when everyone was reading Harry Potter, I was reading The Hobbit.
Right.
And then Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And then, we went on from there. So
So
it's just like,
yeah, she's basically this
that's what
reporter,
it's
and she's very invasive and all of this. But the way she's described in the books is almost exactly how that fucking piece of shit murder shit J.K. Rowling wrote about the trans killer.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
The way she describes trans people in that book is almost the exact same she describes as Rita Skeeter.
Okay.
So, and it's like rewatching Friends. When you watch Friends as a kid, it's like, oh, it's so funny, and then you rewatch it as a queer person, as an adult, you're like, fucking hell, there's a gay joke every fucking 5 seconds. You're just like, Jesus. Like, y'all can't even shake hands without it being like, oh, fucking gay, bro. Like, But anyway, so moving on from Harry Potter, yeah, like, I love it. I could name you every spell right fucking now. I could probably tell you exactly what subjects I'd be taking at Hogwarts. Like, I know exactly what kind of career. Actually, I'd probably just still be a musician, to be honest, because you could be a musician in the magic world. But yeah, Harry Potter is my number 3.
Okay.
So, what is your number 2?
Oh, we're getting down.
Oh, we're getting down.
This is going to be well, actually, no, it's. If anyone knows me, they know how much I love this series and how much I've petitioned for a new one to be made. Firefly.
I knew he was going to look up. I've still never seen it. Okay, let me tell you why. You know what I'm like with closure, yeah? And when I grew up knowing that the show never finished, I was like, I can't do that to myself. Because if I love it, I'm going to...
No, you can join the rest of us, bitch.
Haven't I got enough pain? Haven't I gone through enough with Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, fucking Terminator 3? Haven't I gone through enough?
But no, like, in those small few episodes,
Yeah.
just the ability to completely entrance.
Yeah.
Almost
I have heard
everyone that
nothing
watched
but
it.
amazing things about it, like, honestly. Like, so
Again,
I am a bit annoyed I haven't watched it.
It's like, why? Why?
Was it J.J. Abrams?
Yeah. Same with Buffy.
What drugs did he do? Like, something must have happened to him. Because he made such good shit.
Yeah.
And then...
Apparently he's a bit of a dickhead now as well. But, hey,
So I'm not surprised.
I
I met him at the Star Trek premiere. He was very nice, actually.
Okay.
Like, but, I was just some geek, so...
But, like... Oh. And then Serenity, which is the movie.
The movie, yeah.
Does not do the fandom justice. Like, things still need to be explained. Like, the men with blue hands just I will have
watch
you seen
Twin
Peaks?
No.
this one, yeah. It's like a similar kind of thing with Twin Peaks in the way that some things just aren't explained, and it's just like, I need the explanation.
It's annoying, yeah.
So yeah, like Firefly and how lovely the characters are.
Yeah. I thought it was Joss Whedon.
It is Joss Whedon.
Oh yeah, that's who I'm thinking. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Because he did, yeah. Oh, thank God. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Joss Whedon does Buffy as well, yeah. I got the two mixed up for some reason.
Who does Lost?
J.J. Abrams.
That's what.
Yeah. He just can't finish shit. God, he must be terrible in bed. Hire me for your next movie.
Lens flare.
Oh God, yeah. Should we just crack, when we do the Star Trek episode, we just crack a fun load of lens flare.
Done.
And wear this. Oh my God, anyone who know, oh my God. How have I only just noticed this?
What, that it's gold?
No, that these are dicks.
You've seen me wear this.
I've seen you wear this so many times. Now you know I'm not lying about my eyesight. It's truly terrible. But I think Mel looks like she's in Star Trek in the like
Mirror Universe.
Like Terran Empire.
I'm a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Firefly though.
Yeah.
Like, I am a true brown coat.
Yeah.
The fact that it, like, growing up, I did not like westerns. Because that was what my nan had on, almost on repeat. And then every one of her friends' houses we went to, there was a western on. I was like, this does not sit with me. There are no black people.
I'd be like, this ain't no Star Wars. That's the only western I'm gonna watch.
But like, it's a western. It's also sci-fi, set in space, and it makes sense. Like, it just makes sense. And there's all this mystery that's around, and everyone is so well written.
Yeah.
And so likable. And then the theme song.
It's been a long road.
How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you?
But don't tell me that you're not now thinking of us going to Comic-Con and standing in the middle of the fucking place and going, it's been a long road. Yeah.
But the amount of hate we'll get.
Oh, absolutely, but it'll be worth it. It will be fucking worth it. Oh my God.
But no, like, every aspect of it, other than the fact that it's only that one season, I love.
How long is the season? How many episodes?
Oh God, it's only, no, it's 8.
8 episodes.
Is it 8?
But you know what? Maybe it's a feat. Clickety-clack. Maybe it's quite a feat of a show to be so iconic in so few episodes. Like, okay.
Like, even other, well, not even, they're not that similar. But like Farscape.
Oh right,
Fringe.
Yeah.
They're 2 other sci-fi fantasy series that I love to bits. But they did not grip me in the same way that Firefly did.
Yeah.
This says 14 episodes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still quite short. There are Star Trek seasons longer than that.
There's English shows that are longer than that. And that's saying something, because English shows don't get shit.
Oh my God, yeah. Look at Queer as Folk. Got 2 seasons in the UK and 6 seasons in the US. Look at that.
And it's now being restarted as well.
No.
They're doing a new Queer as Folk.
Oh, but they should have left it with the American one. It was so good.
No, it's another American one.
Why?
Don't.
Just send the children to the old one. Lord, anyway. We don't have to remake everything, people.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord, that's a fucking episode title. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Remakes and redos.
No,
not.
No, the title was literally, we don't need to remake everything.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, you know Zac Efron is in Firefly.
What?
Two episodes. Young Simon.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm not sure how I feel about that now. Oh God, yeah.
Is he like what? Like a child?
He played. Oh my God, no. Why would you tell me that?
Bit trivia.
You've scarred me for life.
Because this list has just turned us into ruining our favourite fandoms. It's like we've just gone through each category like, so this is what I hate about it. Are you ready for my number 2? I think you know what it is because you know what my number 1 is.
It could be one of the 2.
All right.
Which one is it though? Yeah.
Yes, Star Wars. It was really hard to pick between this and my number one because I don't have any tattoos and I probably will get some, but the first two I will get will be either on my wrist or somewhere else that's like mirrored, and I will have I don't want to give away number one.
You have to get
I'll
one
get
cheek.
Yeah. But I could get. I want to get the Jedi symbol, the symbol of the Jedi
and
with
then
the world.
Your number one on the opposite side.
Yeah, and I'll have Soul written under the Star Wars side, and then what my number one is the word mind, which will make sense in a minute. Because I literally do feel like...
I like that.
Yeah. No, I've had that idea for like 10 years now. Like, because I feel, other than my amazing mother, Star Trek and Star Wars really did like raise me. Like, and not just raise me, but like, especially... I just gave away number one, didn't I? Anyway, but it's fine. But with Star Wars, like, I don't really know. Like, in a weird way, it kind of shaped me spiritually. Like, there's a lot of times where I do, like...
Join the dark side.
Well, you know, at the beginning of this year, so I caught COVID in December, and I had my... Do you remember this shit? Oh, my God. And I had, like, so much stuff booked. Like, my December was, like, because anyone will tell you, drag queen's most busiest times. Mel, if you please.
Pride. Christmas, Halloween.
So I was like, I was gonna earn. I was gonna earn quite a bit of money that month. Quite a bit more than. Anyway, yeah, I was very happy with what I was gonna earn. I also had my single coming out, and then I caught COVID like the day before the show, and I was like, of course, why not?
Yeah.
And then just everything was going wrong. Like, files went missing of shit that I needed, and like it was going terribly. I lost all my gigs, and in January, which is
dead month.
Yeah, literally the deadest month of the year. And then I had like one show a week, and so I came into the new year to my drag family, and I was like, oh, how you been doing, Alex? And I was like, not good. I've joined the dark side. I'm a Sith Lord now. Fuck everyone, and I'm doing shit for myself.
Sith Lord.
I am the drag queen. Oh my God, no, it should have been I am the drag scene. But yeah, no, and
cut that.
No, I'm not staying in.
Keep it in. Oh, what I was gonna say is, so my favorite parts of Star Wars is actually not the films. Like, the TV show, bitch, animated TV shows slap. Dave Filoni, you are a god. You are a fucking... I honestly think, like, Dave Filoni is modern day king of the nerds. Like, Stan Lee has passed on. That man, he's passed on, and he is a legend, icon forever. Yes, Mama wore boots. Okay. But Dave Filoni, the way that bitch has changed Star Wars, like, I never thought time travel would ever work in Star Wars. That's just like, I know my sci-fi fantasy. I know how the shit works. Bitch, time travel, no.
Well, when it gets to your number one,
yeah.
We'll talk about that one.
Oh, yeah, because sometimes it works, sometimes don't worry. But yeah, if you caught it, you caught it. But and my number one favorite character in Star Wars came out of the animated shows, and it was a character that I first hated, is Ahsoka Tano. Bitch, can't tell me nothing. If I get another tattoo, it'll be of Ahsoka. Yeah, we'll have to save it for the Star Wars episode, but like, yeah, I could talk about Ahsoka. I just love, I relate to her journey as well. Like, her leaving the Jedi Order was like me leaving the music industry. I was like, I can't do this, master. Yeah, I gotta go. And I became a drag queen. And she became white lightsabered Gandalf, Ahsoka the White. Like, so yeah,
just watching that clip of when
the epilogue Armor Days, and then her appearing in The Mandalorian. I don't know if we talked about it on camera or off camera, But I predicted that shit. Will, tell the good people that I predicted that shit.
Yes, you did.
I did. From the first fucking episode of The Mandalorian.
You have to tell that.
Okay, so what had happened? I won't go too into detail after this story of Star Wars, because we all know what Star Wars is about and all that shit. But this fucking story. First episode of Mandalorian, if y'all have seen it, you know Grogu, aka Baby Yoda, and you're a piece of shit if you call him Baby Yoda. It's Grogu, we have his name. So when he appears in that little thing, and literally all he does is go, yeah, and I went, Ahsoka's going to be in this show. Like, the pin drop, like, when I tell you the whole storyline in 1 second was in my head, like, yeah, I see it. I literally see Ahsoka. Because who the fuck else is he going to take this fucking baby to? Like, unless they're going to take some risk and take it to Luke Skywalker, which obviously they eventually did, but before and I was like, well, he's Mandalorian. He's going to find Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan's going to be like, well, the only Jedi I really know is Ahsoka Tano. Go lead us Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano's going to be like, either take the baby, because we obviously, or do some shit. And I was totally right. Because that shit didn't even happen until a year later. And I was like, and then when that episode came, I went, I fucking knew it! Oh god. I was so...
I can imagine.
Because then it also was in the Clone Wars Season 7. Do you remember when we were watching that and Bo-Katan and Ahsoka say goodbye, and I went, bitch, we're about to see them in live action together. I'm telling you, look at this goodbye. Look at it, listen to the music. Like, I'm telling you, look, the handshake was a bit long. I'm telling you. And then 6 months later, Mandalorian Season 2, Bo-Katan. Oh, when she landed, I swear it was like every episode I was like, look. Oh, yeah. Dave Filoni, you are a god. You're a god. Hire me.
You also had a bet with someone we know after the episode 7 came out.
Okay, yes. But I don't really know how it stands, because obviously Star Wars took a different... Yeah, okay. So me and Andrew...
What was the bet?
So the bet was, I bet that Ahsoka was going to appear in one of... Was it from after episode 7? So I said Ahsoka was going to appear in one of... Because at this point, season 7 Clone Wars hadn't happened. And I was like, trust me, Ahsoka is the biggest character in Star Wars right now. Like, I would say maybe rivaled by like Grogu a little bit. But like in terms of significance to the story and how many eras of Star Wars she impacts, and the fact that they obviously keep keeping her alive because she's very popular. She is like the most cosplayed fucking Star Wars character at fucking most Comic Cons. Like, I was like convinced. I was telling all these bitches because Will can sit there all now knowing, but none of these bitches, none of these straight boys in this house or Ashley around the corner, none of them watched the animated series. I've known Ashley for fucking 15 years. 15 years. I was like, bitch, you gotta watch this TV show, I'm telling you. So for so long, no one I knew was watching it. And then I think Will was the first one to watch it, and you was pretty convinced pretty quickly. And and I was like, see, and then I did, and Will was backing me up on that day. He was like, Andrew, I think, Lou might be right. Like, Ahsoka's a pretty big deal. And I said she will appear in a film. But I think I've done that as well. The only reason I said that, I said that is because at the time, Star Wars direction was films. Like, they had a plan to do like a film every year, and then some years like that with Solo, like a film at May and at December. So it looked like they were going to be like films. When they started doing TV shows, like live action TV shows, obviously it's kind of like changed the game. So I don't think anyone won the bet, because the bet was she will appear within the next 5 years. Now, I was correct. And in fact, I actually was correct, because she did appear in the she appeared in a piece of media that I will not say, that was directed by J.J. Abrams, and it wasn't The Force Awakens, let's just put it that way. And she did appear in that. Now, she didn't appear, her face didn't appear, but her voice did, so I was technically right. But then literally a couple of, like, the next year or the year later, like, come on. So that's Star Wars. Star Wars is my number 2. I do love Star Wars. Like, I got, quickly before we move on, one of the best parts for me of Star Wars is also games. Some of my favorite games of all time are Star Wars games. Like, and I'm not being entirely impartial, but I do think some of them, even without it having anything to do with Star Wars, like Knights of the Republic, like that. I mean, am I right in saying? Oh yeah. But am I right in saying... Well, both of those games, I think, changed the game in terms of... But did Knights of the Republic, like, literally...
It's
so many games. Today. Oh, yeah, but, like, literally, like, Mass Effect...
Yep.
The Witcher... Like, all these decision-based... Like, it's all based on Knights of the Republic, isn't it? It's even... Some of them are made still by the same company, right? Mm-hmm. That game... And the... spoilers, I don't know. Do we say the twist?
Oh, well, it's out there.
Yeah, fuck it. So... You're playing the game and you hear all these legends about the two Sith Lords, Revan and Malak, and then you do face Malak like further on in the game, and then is it Malak that reveals to you that you're Revan? Girl, because obviously we weren't alive when the "I am your father" twist, so even as a kid I don't really have like a fully fleshed out memory of being shocked by that. I'm sure I was, but like I don't really know because I was young, so I don't know.
I don't remember if I did.
Yeah, but
because
that...
I watched it when Sky did the...
Oh, right. Yeah.
That was like the first time I watched it, and I was like...
Yeah.
But I don't remember if I was shocked, because I think I knew about that twist already.
Yeah, because it is such a big... Yeah. But that twist... Oh, my days. I have never been more shooketh by a video game, or even some stories. Like, I had to stop playing for a week. I was really like... Because it's a long game. It's not like you have to invest. Like, you're making decisions. You're making character relationships. Like, you're traveling to all these different places. It was weeks of playing to do all of this. And, I was a little kid, like, I'm going to be Jedi. So I was doing... Now I've played the Sith ending and all of that. But at the time, I was playing the goody two-shoes, like, get as many light points as you can, be nice to everyone, go broke, go hungry, kind of play. And then after all that, you find out you're the fucking Sith Lord that basically started all this shit.
A Sith Lord?
Do you know what I love? I can't wait to watch this because we can see you, but they can't see you. But yeah, Knights of the Republic, fuck me. To name a couple other games, Jedi Knight Academy, Star Wars Battlefront, Lego Star Wars. Lego bloody Star Wars. Again, game changer. Yeah. Literally game changer. One,
yeah. In terms of how ridiculously funny it is.
Oh,
when
days.
They come in and then the thing just breaks around and then
I love those games. Oh my days. But yeah, so that's Star Wars. Right. And we're back again. Twice, but you didn't see that. We never told you we were leaving either. Right, so before we go on to our number ones, I'm just going to quickly mention some of my honourable mentions. So I took this one out last minute. It's The Dark Crystal. The film from the 80s? 80s?
Yes.
Yeah. Made by Jim Henson, same guy that did Labyrinth. I'm sorry, I know loads of you love Labyrinth. Dark Crystal's better. No. I can't deal with puppets and humans in the same film. Pick a fucking medium. Right. And the TV show. The TV show is actually kind of better than the film. Have you seen the TV show?
Not yet.
Oh, so good. If you need... Game of Thrones done right.
Oh.
Trust me.
Shady.
And also, y'all Netflix are shady bitches for cancelling season 2. It needs to be brought back. I'm not the only person that thinks it. Right. True, the Underworld series was we were talking about before. For the world building and all of that, and even though we were talking about Kate Beckinsale as Celine, girl, that outfit was cunt. Like, she always looked cunt.
Forever will be.
And that first jump she does from the roof in the first film, iconic. True Blood, also another vampire, but the books, I do love the TV show, but the books are like, that's my shit. Like, I love the books. The Darren Shan saga, which we talked about before, yes. Red Rising, which is a book series Will got me into, which I am on the 4th book at the moment, and it's so good. This is just one film by itself, but this, probably excluding any film in the top 10, is probably my favourite film of all time. It's The Fifth Element. Oh, that... everything. I mean...
Multipath.
In it. Like, I mean, even, like, unintentionally, my outfit is kind of, like, a little bit Fifth Element, but everything from the fashion, the music, like... I remember one time, me and Will were working in the studio, and then we watched... He had never seen Fifth Element. This, like, a couple of years ago, yeah. Even his dad was shocked. But then we watched it, and Will... I don't know if it was at the end of the film where you paused it and you went, you know what? I have just understood you as a musician. completely now.
It was right near the beginning when the whole taxi scene was happening.
Right, like, and the music was playing, and you were like, well, you told us you.
Oh, that was it. I heard so much of your music reflected in it, and I was like,
that film, like, I could
beautiful.
Yeah, I could honestly probably be okay with never watching anything again if I could just watch that.
I watch that regularly.
Oh yeah, 100%.
At least once a year.
Colin Dallas, winner of the Gemini Crockett Cars. Right. What's up, Fifth Element? Terminator. I'm not really a big action film person, and I know it is still sci-fi, but I kind of do consider it a bit more action than it is sci-fi.
It's got Arnold in it, of course. It's more action.
And I also think it's probably his best performance in any film in the second film, Terminator 2: Judgment Day. I actually love his performance in that film. He's really good acting, like kind of like Data vibes.
Kindergarten.
Which one's that? Not the one where he's pregnant.
No. It's the one where he has to look after kids, but he's like a police officer or
oh, damn. Oh, I have not seen that.
It's cheesy as hell.
Uh-huh.
But he's actually quite good in it.
Okay.
And then after that, I'd say Terminator, and then after that would be... Oh, God, what's the one where he has to get that toy for that kid?
When he's pregnant?
No. Not that one. Definitely not that one.
I don't know what that film's called. A mess.
It's like a Christmas movie, but like I can't remember the full-on story of it. But it's either he has an adopted kid or he's like trying to date some woman, and it's her kid he's trying to like make happy.
It's
or
not
something.
Terminator 4: Revenge of the Elves, no.
See what I have to work with. Not Revenge of the Elves. Bitch. I hate you so much.
We've come for Sarah Connor! We're gonna blow her fucking brains out! Oh god, I'm so stupid.
Shit.
And then the now this one is very... Now please do not misunderstand what I'm saying. Alien vs Predator. Not the movies. The comics, the books, and the games. Alien vs Predator 2, the game, was one of my favourite computer games. You could play as an alien from the whole life cycle, Predator, on your whole journey of becoming a warrior and marine, just trying to stay the fuck alive. And so good. And the multiplayer on that game, oh my fucking god. But the story of Alien vs Predator, and when those films came out, I was so pissed that they went for some weird fucking pyramid fucking ancient aliens.
No one knows what was...
Girl, the timeline don't make sense because how would a xenomorph... Oh, let's not. It's an honourable mention. It's not even worth it.
And the fact that, like the fucking hieroglyphs have tried them at war with each other for decades, basically.
It don't make no sense because, like, you can't have had the xenomorphs without the humans because the only reason the xenomorph looks like that is because that's the human variation of it. Because if you had a predator xenomorph, it'd look different. You had a fucking... annoys me. But I do like the lead actress in the first film. She worked that shit. What's her face?
Don't even remember it. Is she...
The black woman who got the J put on her at the end. And she gets like the Predator's respect and all that shit. She's like leading the expedition in the Arctic. She was badass, but other than that, the film's trash.
I remember. Yeah. Did I like have to force myself to watch that?
Most likely. Or the second one. The second one is even worse. When it turns into like American Pie meets Alien 4.
I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
No, I genuinely forgot about that.
Oh, no. And there are some real disturbing scenes in that, like the fucking impregnating of the pregnant woman, and then obviously the face, the chest burster obviously eats the baby and stuff. Girl. Anyway,
I forgot about.
Moving on from our honourable mentions, what is your number one pick, my darling?
Well, I think you know what it's going to be.
Know.
It's basically the world of Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, The Silmarillion, all of it. Just
yeah,
it's what made me fall in love with fantasy novels and mythology as a whole. Like, I've always been interested in mythology, like Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology. But what really got me massively into like what people think of as gods and deities and all that kind of mysticalism of it all was Lord of the Rings, because The Hobbit, actually, while everyone was reading Harry Potter, I was like, I don't particularly like this.
Yeah.
I don't like the writing style. Again, turns out I was right. And I just didn't get on board with it.
Yeah.
I've read excerpts of like the latter books, and I'm like, oh, she improved.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. She still said a lot.
Oh God.
Yeah. That was always something that grabbed me with Harry Potter. I'm like, you said quite a lot. There are other ways.
There's a lot of like childish elements in her writing. And I know they were originally intended for kids' books, but there's ways to write and there's ways to write.
Yeah, like Darren
That is
Shan's
not one of them. Exactly.
The Hunger Games. I guess that's not really a kids' book. Anyway. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, well, this looks like a cool book. I then started reading The Hobbit. Mm-hmm. And I was hook, line and sinker.
Yeah. I will say, like, The Hobbit is one of the most enjoyable books to read. Like, I have, like, my mum for my birthday once got me a handmade version of it. And it is so
I know
gorgeous.
it diverged heavily in the film.
Oh, lordy lord.
Heavily. But the first few chapters at least are almost direct.
Oh, yeah. In the first film I kind of like, but it's almost like how we were talking about X-Men Days of Future Past. Like, it's like, because of what comes after it, I can't watch. Yeah. Same thing with Star Wars The Last Jedi. I've not watched it since the world came out, because even though I like The Last Jedi, it was like, it ruined the rest of the trilogy for me. So I get, like, yeah. So what your opinion on the Hobbit trilogy is? Like, do you think it was overdone?
Massively overdone. Not needed. The Hobbit easily could have translated into 3 movies.
Yeah.
But
not like that.
Direct from the book. You have enough material there to have translated it into 3 movies.
Where the fuck were these battles coming from? The orcs that are following them.
The orcs ain't arrived yet.
Yeah. And what the fuck? They
literally made in the Lord of the Rings.
The only time that I've turned off a film is I was watching The Hobbit 1, the first one.
Oh.
And when...
Oh, no, I know what it is, because I always say it to piss him off, go on.
When Radagast and Gandalf are talking, they're being chased by the wargs. Gandalf goes, but Radagast, how are you going to get away? The wargs, these are just rabbits. He goes, these aren't just rabbits, Gandalf. These are Restaban rabbits. And I'm like, no, I can't do it.
I think it is the most iconic scene in the whole franchise.
I can't do it.
It's so good.
Okay. Jesus. There are good points about the films, but...
Yeah.
Especially as the interaction between Gandalf and Radagast throughout all of the works of J.R.R. Tolkien is so crucial to what then happens.
Yeah.
In the world as a whole. And like the fact that they are the last 2 wizards really, other than obviously we know what happens to Saruman.
So what you were saying earlier about film adaptations, on a scale of 0 to 10, where would you rate the Lord of the Rings film adaptations?
You go first.
Because you said earlier, the only film adaptation that I agree with, it was not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that is very
Which one did you say that for?
I don't remember.
Neither do I. That was so long ago.
Because I said earlier, when Lord of the Rings was on my list, I said... It for me is the number 1 adaptation.
I think it was Battle Royale.
Yes.
And that's been the only one where I was like, yeah, you missed or skipped over a couple of beats, or then like kind of switched a couple of bits around, but it still made sense and was good. Yeah, Lord of the Rings wouldn't be fully up there. There's things that are missed and elements that are just extended for a little bit too long. Like the extended cut is still the best version.
Oh my god! I don't think. Well, we did that whole day where we watched all 3. I did fall asleep towards the end. It was a whole day. It was a whole day.
You have to do it though.
Yeah, but like I was comfy, and I'm like, the older I'm getting, I'm turning into my mum, and like she just goes to cinemas to sleep. Like she's just looking for a dark place to get comfortable. Like, and I used to get so embarrassed by it, but now I'm literally like, we'll all watch like films down here, and I will be the first one asleep. But yeah, but then I can do a drag show, so you know, and that was Prancing Hills. So
yeah.
Ooh. How excited are you for the TV show?
I'm still on the fence.
Right.
Like I like some of it, but then knowing more of the book elements, I'm wondering how much are they going to add in? How much are they going to stick to where the books have?
Is it going to be more like Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit? Like,
are they actually going to use the references from the Silmarillion? Because
they must, because at this point, like as we have reached like towards the end of this episode and the amount of fandoms we've talked about and all the knowledge we know, like because of the internet and because of how invested people are like in standing things, like it's kind of, you can't get away with shit. I mean,
but even like hardcore fans of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, the Silmarillion is just like, yep, no, too much. But
all it takes is, it takes one person on Reddit to be like, excuse me, and then it becomes a viral fucking thing. Do you know what I mean?
This
like,
is true.
yeah.
This is very, very true. So I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, of course.
But I don't have the greatest desire to watch it because I'm not really sure where. Like I heard little bits of where it's going to be in terms of placement, but yeah, if it don't sit right with me,
I hope it surprises
it ain't
us.
gonna sit right with a lot of people.
I feel a similar vibe. Do you remember when before Discovery came out? And in the first season of Discovery, but now like Discovery is kind of like, well, it always kind of was lit, but now like especially now it's like really lit. I'm getting a similar vibe, so I'm hoping it has a similar trajectory as that, because that would be good, because it would be like, oh, okay, this is new and it's doing new stuff for the franchise.
We'll get onto the trajectory we don't
but yeah, like I mean I'm excited to see the trailer. I'm not gonna lie, the trailer did gas me up a little bit just from seeing that Black Elf. I was like, you've just...
But for me as well, the fact that they actually used real metal to make...
Yeah, because we were confused. We looked that shit up and we were like, what the fuck? Like, I thought it was CGI.
No, but it looks...
It does, yeah, because it's filmed in like, what, I don't know, cameras. Like, it was filmed in some crazy nonsense. I don't know what it was, like some high frame rate.
You see them actually smelt the metal, pour it over the mold, and
oh, crazy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though, because it's going to be...
Also,
do you know that?
I want to own every ring.
Oh, yeah.
Not just the 3.
Wait! Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Clickety clack.
So you may want all the rings. Can they still hear me?
This is suspenseful. Oh my days. I forgot about this.
So
Jesus.
you could have the one ring.
Oh, for fuck's
So
sake.
rule them all.
Bitch. Okay, explain.
Oh, right. Well, the story starts in the Shire. Okay, so basically what happened, the story starts on the Downs in Lewis. Me and my mum were walking, like, from Lewis to Plumpton, and we just saw this.
What?
Yeah, it was just left. And I was like, oh, I've got to take it. My mum was like, no, you're not, because we're walking back, like 10 miles back. Girl, you fucking know it. That's what I did. And oh my god, the laughs, the joke, like people were even like, the fuck, or people were like, oh my god, that is so cool, like, because, you know, I looked like I was carrying the one ring, but it's almost like a metaphor for the weight Frodo had to carry.
The cardboard ring.
It is peeling and shit, but like,
I mean,
it's all good. Actually, it's peeled quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, you can just...
I can redo the tip, but someone had like done all this Elvish writing and shit. Like, it's accurate.
It's accurate, for one, but also it's neat.
Yeah,
because I've seen some Elvish writing that don't look that good.
Yeah, so
kudos to whoever.
I don't even think Elrond could write this neat. But yeah, let me roll this out because Jesus Christ.
Careful now.
Yeah, I'm gonna reveal our cheap set. Thank you.
But
Yeah.
that's my number one.
Lit. Well,
Also Elvish. Like,
I would love to learn how to speak.
so I love languages. If anyone knows me, I talk about it all the time. Japanese is my favourite. Speak conversational level, not great. Also speak a bit of Mandarin, a bit of Korean.
Oh, thank you for putting that way.
But I would love to learn Elvish.
Yeah.
And one of the languages probably in your number one.
Oh, yeah.
Kailash!
Kopla!
Yes.
But no, like, the Elven language is not only beautifully written scripturally.
Oh, if someone whispered that in my ear, my panties come off. Whoosh.
But
Also, can we just talk about... Now, I know that some people are going to disagree, but for me, the sexiest person in Lord of the Rings is Aragorn. Oh my god, I wanted his babies so bad. Who is it for you? Legolas.
Gimli.
no, unfortunately. Mine's a weird one. Because I'm sure you remember my orientation. And I was very split because both of them were on the screen at the same time at one point, and I just went, no!
Wait, who is it? I'm thinking of multiple people now.
I've said one of them.
Galadriel. Uh-huh. And the other one?
And Legolas.
Oh, yeah.
I was just take just like the power that Galadriel commands, and the like of all the people they got, just the OG.
Oh, 100%. When I was young, though, I got Kate Blanchett, is that her name? And Gwyneth Paltrow mixed up, so I used to say, oh, it's Gwyneth Paltrow. It's not fucking Gwyneth Paltrow. That's not, could you imagine Gwyneth Paltrow in Lord of the Rings?
No.
Sponsored by Goop.
Let me just shove this up here for you, and now you can buy for $10 million.
Frodo, here is your gift. It's my pussy candle.
Like,
let it guide you in the dark. And when he was in Shelob Slayer, he lights the candle. I'm going to hell. I'm fucking going to hell. Oh my god. Or to the fires of Mount Doom. Anyway.
that is forever.
But you know what? Even though
I won't be able to look at it.
You know what? Maybe we need to like a deep fake like Gwyneth Paltrow into Lord of the Rings and actually just make that whole skit. That TikTok will go viral, but I ain't got the time. I ain't got time for that shit. Oh, right. Oh, well, any other lasting thoughts? Last thoughts on Lord of the Rings? What do we call like the world of Middle Earth? Is that what the franchise is called?
Yeah.
I mean, we all just call it Lord of the Rings, like, but
yeah,
it's like Harry Potter. No one calls it the Wizarding World.
Yeah, like everyone has slightly different names for it. I call it the world or the realm of Middle Earth.
Realm of Middle Earth. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Because it's not one aspect of it really that I don't like, other than actually no, that love story that they decided to just wedge in the Hobbit movie. That's the one thing.
Oh my god!
But
I was. It's really because I like tall guys. Obviously, I'm a giant. But I did find quite like several of the dwarf that was in the love story. I was like, oh, come on.
No.
But yeah, would you be an elf?
Of course.
Yeah. Damn straight. Damn straight.
The men done fucked everything up. The hobbits just get
it's either that or get drug out the ground as an orc. But you have to start.
The hobbits just get pissed all day and farm, and those days are over.
To be fair, it doesn't really sound too different from our drag life. Like literally just in a tavern, drinking and performing for the locals. Except from we be wearing shoes. Yeah.
I would. Oh, I want to go see Hobbiton.
Oh, what, in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would love to. New Zealand's in my top 5 places I want to go.
Yes, I will crawl through that door.
In full arse drag, bitch.
I mean, yeah. Fuck it.
I would just do that just so I could recreate when Gandalf bumps his head. Bitch, nothing used to make me giggle quicker when I was 5 years old, 6 years old, when Gandalf would... Oh! Me and Billy used to rewind that, and the scene in the Return of the... I was about to say Return of the Jedi. Return of the King, where Sam and Frodo are fighting in the first scene, and then Gollum is behind the fucking tree, and he's like... That fucking scream used to send me and Billy into shrieks. That was so funny to us. I don't know why. We were stupid kids.
I used to love doing Gollum's voice as well, because it...
well, you are on a podcast. You have to do it. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, the pressure.
Stupid fat hobbitses. But I don't know what else to say to you. I don't know what else to do.
The most iconic line from The Two Towers. Potatoes.
That's a hard one.
Titles! What's titles hummuses? Oh, nasty.
Potatoes. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
I love that. just with the reply.
Literally. Oh my god. Oh. Can you still do the Smeagol voice?
Go on, you know you got this.
It's been a while. I don't even know which line to say now.
I can't even think of it. What's the Gollum line?
Wait. No, I don't remember it word for word, and I don't want to fuck myself up.
You know what? Patreon exclusive. No. Oh yeah. I cannot do it to save my life, like at all. I used to do. Oh, that was fucking good. I used to do, growing up, Yoda, but I can't do Yoda anymore. When my voice broke, I can't do it no more. Like, are you
to
ready?
be fair, his voice did change quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that parody puppet that they
Oh, jeez.
the first time
Look, yeah.
Well, I'm kind of glad they went with the CGI, because that puppet was
McClunky.
It would have turned into a fucking Punch and Judy show.
It was.
It's the little...
Get me, you cunt. You're too slow, Luke Skywalker.
Oh, are y'all ready for my number one?
Well, that's a nice transition.
Thanks. Was it a transition? I don't know. I'm too high. Oh god, we're on camera.
High on life.
Yeah, because we're in California where everything's legal. All right. So anyway, my number one. I think I've probably already spoiled it already.
Mm.
For anyone that knows me, you know, it's Star Trek. So when I was talking about my tattoos before, that would be my other tattoo. It would be the Star Trek, the Starfleet insignia with the word mind underneath, because I feel like Star Wars created my soul.
Which version of the Starfleet?
Probably
the bog standard blue.
Oh god, there's no pen or paper. Like, you know, the one that just does the yeah. For the girls who can't see, tough. I cannot remember a time in my life where I did not know of Star Trek. I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact I was taken to the cinema like a couple of times with my mum and my American family when we were out there to see the films. And then one of my one of my very most vivid memories of going to the cinema was seeing Star Trek Nemesis. I know everyone shits on that film. But I honestly it does have a special place in my heart, because as much as there are some slight problems in that film, not as terrible. Okay, in terms of films that have ended a franchise or were meant to end a franchise, we can say that Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker was worse than anything. Game of Thrones season 8 was worse than Star Trek Nemesis. Fucking Lost season 3 and 4 was worse than fucking Heroes season 3 and 4. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Another episode. So, oh my god.
The missed potential. I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
I know.
No,
trust.
Continue.
Oh god. Now I'm thinking of fucking anyway. But anyway.
Save the world.
No. Yeah.
Let the bitch die.
For real. Well, they couldn't.
I know a few ways.
But yeah. Anyway, another episode. So, with Star Trek, like, what were we talking about? The
movie Nemesis.
Yes, Nemesis. I went and saw it to cinema with my mum on the first day it came out, after school, really late at night when we were living in London, and went in. Oh my god, that scene, the fucking wedding scene. No one can shit on that, because in my mind, now you could do the clickety clackety and find out, but in my mind, that the wedding scene was the last scene that they filmed in that film. Because I've never watched the behind the scenes, because I generally, out of all the Star Trek films, Nemesis makes me boohoo the most. Like, as y'all like to make fun of me for saying this, I be boohooing. I was boohooing. Like, me and my mum were literally in the cinema. I think my sister cried a little bit, but like, me and my mum were like, you know, Star Trek, like hard nut fans, literally holding on to each other, just crying. Like, because if I start crying now, I'm not in fucking drag. I literally, like, I'm a mess. I will cry, like, oh my... Picard's speech when he's like, you are my family. And then Deanna's fucking sitting there, red fucking, oh my days. But then you also got really funny scenes of, like, Guinan and Worf, and when it's like, Romulan ale should be illegal, and then she's... Anyway, right, 2 new ones. But, yeah, Star Trek, I think... If I have kids, I've always said this, or if I have, if I have kids, they won't get a choice. They will be watching Star Trek. Because let me tell you, Star Trek made my mum's job a whole lot easier. Like, it made my mum's job a whole lot easier. My morals was put through the processing of the 24th century, you know, and
the logic of it all.
Yeah, no, for real, because there are so many things in Star Trek that made sense to me as a kid, or so many things that, because I saw it in Star Trek and it makes sense, seeing the opposite in real life, I'm like, well, how is this real life and that's the TV show? Like, I just didn't understand. Like, and again, this is people roll their eyes as, this hippie bitch with her dreads, fucking, but money don't make sense. Like, money does not make sense. Like, if you think about it, like, I'm really not trying to sound like a hippy-dippy Brian bitch right now.
No.
But it really doesn't make sense. The fact that you have to literally pay to do everything but breathe is kind of a mind fuck. Like, so when I'm seeing this 24th century, 23rd century, whatever era of Star Trek you're in, and money does not exist, and a society is able to... And I know it's fiction... but I know it's fiction, but it makes sense. Like, you know, you've watched like loads of Star Trek. It makes sense, like the way the society works, and like, and when I've spoken to other people, especially people who are older generation who only saw bits and pieces of Star Trek or whatever, or none of it, and they're like, I remember someone I used to live with in my last house who was like in his 50s, and 2 things in Star Trek he could never understand. He couldn't understand time travel. He's like, don't work. And I'm like, well, it depends on which way you look at it, and da-da-da-da. And yeah, some of them don't work, but yeah.
Time crystals. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
It don't work.
No, it doesn't.
That don't work.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But revolving around the sun might.
Yes.
At that speed. Could do that. Could do that. So I do like that method. And anything that involves chronotons, that works, because that's fictional, so go off, sis. And yeah,
also, the weird nerdy fact, there's a documentary with, oh god, what's that Japanese scientist? And he does all, like, the sci-fi shit. And he's the one that was like, well, in order to get a lightsaber to actually work the way it does.
Oh.
It's Lee
we watched this shit. Yeah.
But there's a series he did years ago now, and it's him, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Is this one about warp power?
loads of different...
Oh, okay, right.
They go through,
I might have seen a
of,
clip from this then. Yeah.
But like they actually say, in order for everyone to do actual time travel, you would need to use like a series of lasers pointed in like the DNA spiral kind of shape.
Right.
But a cube. So all of them kind of rotate around but going down.
Right.
So kind of like if you've played Deep Space. No,
Dead Space.
Dead Space.
Dead Space, yeah.
Yeah, like kind of how the weird stone thing in that looks, but without the weird tentacly bit at the top. Yeah, so
one of my favourite anime films.
A cube just literally going down and round of lasers. And they found that if they dropped a ball in one of these laser things, it actually slowed down the further it went.
What?
Yeah, so we've essentially found out about time travel in a weird little way.
Yeah.
But also, astronauts are time travelers.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah, because this is different times. Well, and if we start having
even just
people...
that, because time, the further away you live from the Earth, is slower. So
well, that's why, like, it's... I think films like Interstellar and Arrival, like, are probably, like, the most truest depictions of... Arrival, honestly. Like, another episode.
Again, Discovery.
So...
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Like, at the moment... Star Trek, I don't try to put Star Trek and Star Wars against each other, but because they both kind of had revivals at similar times, and because they've both been like under this like new corporate agreements and shit,
as well as both their fandoms being absolutely huge.
Yes, and savage. Savage. Like, honestly, kind of Star Trek fans can kind of be more savage than Star Wars fans sometimes.
Oh, well,
like,
I've spoken to you about another set of YouTubers and podcasters that I don't particularly like because they get things wrong all the fucking time. 100%.
Like, and I think at the moment Star Trek is kind of winning. Like, Star Trek's winning. Prodigy that came out last year, fucking amazing. Like, fucking amazing. We'll get to our favourite one in a sec. Discovery, lit. I think there were a couple of shaky bits in season 1. It took us a second to be like, what the fuck are these Klingons? Like... But they fixed that in the second. Lordy Lord. This is not an episode of Rick and Morty. That almost could have made my honorable mentions. But anyway. But Lower Decks.
Puss.
It is so good if you're not a Star Trek fan. But as we said before, if you are a Star Trek fan, it makes being a Star Trek fan for your whole life worth it. Like, you're like, thank you. You're like, thank you. Like, this is like...
The amount of... Even the small references, like... in scenes where they're just collecting junk and you can see
the fucking things from different episodes, like, and stuff like that. My favorite episode of Lower Decks is when they're getting tested by the woman who's like, this one, like the woman who's split free, and they're doing different tests based on other Starfleet experience, and fucking Boimler gets stuck in the Borg simulation for 2 days and gets assimilated and has like a mental breakdown and thinks he's actually...
But then he actually passes it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then it doesn't register.
That episode is fun. And then the moment that everyone talks about on fucking Twitter and TikTok was the fucking Boimler in the Naked Time simulation when Mariner is doing her test.
Yeah.
And Boimler, I'm not going to do it in these fucking hills, but literally... Just for those who aren't watching, spreads his legs like spread eagle, and then they've blurred out his hole, like, and Mariner. Honestly, would you recommend Lower Decks to someone who hasn't seen any Star Trek? Yeah, I would think
because
so.
It's easily enjoyable. Like, the characters are really funny.
Yeah.
Also really relatable.
Yeah.
Like, you clearly I've forgotten their names now. Who's the cyber guy in the Andorian?
Rutherford and Tendi.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because I had Tilly in my head.
Oh, yeah.
But those two are clearly neurodivergent.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Clearly.
And
it's just like... Yeah, I get where these two are both coming from.
Yeah, and I think...
And then the weird ones that... Then you've got... the classic cool kid, but is not really a cool kid because they're into all the geeky shit.
Yeah.
And then you've just got Boimler.
Who actually has, like, kind of turned into one of the funniest characters. Like, he is so funny. Like, him one of the best moments of Lower Decks, and this is why I'm saying, like, it really, like, it pays you back for being a Star Trek fan when you get to see Riker captain the Titan, and when he goes, "This is the most genius piece of writing for any character in the history of fiction. Warp to the factor in 5, 6, 7, 8." And Deanna's like, "Not the jazz." Like, bitch, if you are a Star Trek fan, reference to the show, the films, the bloopers, like, it's referencing. Like, I live. Oh my god, it's just, it's like every joke every time you see a joke done in Lower Decks, it's a joke you've thought of as a Star Trek fan. Yeah. Like the episode where the Killer Holodeck program, the fucking
oh, that was so funny.
Oh my god, the episode. Oh god, I can't remember the name of the episode, but when they have to go get the doctor's
and they have to go to
the totem. Oh my fucking god! Like, that whole episode,
and the fact that they don't have the same kind of restriction.
Yeah.
So just her effing and blinded.
Yeah.
For
oh my god.
30 seconds straight.
Her character is fucking genius. Like, she is like Dr. McCoy on steroids. Like she is so fucking funny. I can't remember, I think it's the end of season 1 where there's an emergency happening and they bring the captain who's wounded in, and then she's so panicked that she goes, meow, because she's a cat, by the way, so she's like, meow. Sorry, I meant get the captain to the bio. Just like little shit like that. Like, oh my god, like Lower Decks is genius.
And the episode where oh god, the vice captain, where he becomes like
oh, when he becomes the god thing. Oh my fucking god.
It's a reference to
Gary.
Itself.
Yeah, it's a fucking Gary from the original series. And another favourite moment of mine from Lower Decks is when Peanut Hamper, you know, the little... What are those droids called from Next Generation? Yeah. Like these sentient... Yeah, and she goes... And then they're like, oh my god, who's going to be able to save the day? Oh, we need someone who doesn't have any organic material and who can fly in and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then they're like, Peanut Hamper, it's you're going to save the day. And then she's like, oh, what's the tea?
Well, the batteries run out, but we're going to go audio only.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
I'm not...
Yeah. No, it's fine.
No, you're going to have to redo all of what you just said.
Do we have another spare battery to film an outro? Sick. Cool. But yeah, fucking when she goes, and they're like, Peanut Hamper, you're gonna save the day, and then she's like, nah. Like, I'm gonna pass. Good luck with your guts flying out or whatever.
And then she just floats away like that.
Oh, it's so good. But what I also like is that it's as stupid as Rick and Morty, but it's a bit more grounded. So it actually fits.
Who it's made by, right?
Yeah, of course, the same people. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, because even though it's so stupid, I still feel like I have no problem adjusting my brain to be like, yeah, this is in the Star Trek universe.
Yeah.
I don't even need to adjust. I'm like, yeah. Like, while Picard's going on, I can totally imagine the Cerritos is off doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like, love it. I fucking love it. And to end off with the Star Trek shit, I've said it once, I'll say it again, the best Star Trek TV show of all time, and the best sci-fi show of all time, and obviously because it's at the top of my list and at the top of my Star Trek list, Deep Space Nine is one of the best TV shows made of all time. Y'all thought Game of Thrones was about Deep Space Nine was the original Game of Thrones. I'm looking at a camera that's not even there. Like, I'm literally like, Deep Space Nine... Wait, what? But Deep Space Nine, like... like... It just pushes all the boundaries.
Yeah.
It talks about religion, race, poverty... classism, sexism, every fucking social issue you can think of. It does better than all the other Star Trek shows.
And like, we've talked about one of our favourite episodes of Deep Space Nine multiple times.
Yeah. Which
I'm glad it turned out the way it did rather than the way that it was intended to actually...
Are we talking about Ren and the Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Benny Sisko. Yeah.
Where it was all meant to be a dream originally. Like,
yeah.
Could you imagine?
Well, still to this day, it's kind of like we're not entirely sure, like, what that was. Was it a vision from the prophets? Was he actually living in the past? Like, or was it just like, like, there's so many questions because, like,
but the acting.
Oh,
and
that fucking, I'm literally getting chills now thinking
when
of
you see the behind the scenes. and they're having to pick him up off the floor.
Oh my days.
Because he is just going through it.
That documentary is one of my favourite documentaries, that fucking What We Left Behind. Oh my days. And What We Left Behind. Also, Deep Space Nine, fight me on this, has the best series finale. Because Next Generation, it's a little bit rushed. Yeah. Enterprise, Voyager, you know what I mean? Discovery's not done. Original series, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine, we got a send-off, bitch. That was first of all, the whole last season is like a 20-part episode. Like, it's like part, like, you know, it's not just like a part one part. I swear the last 6 episodes are actually classed as a 6-part episode.
I think so.
Yeah. Like, but that last episode, not only I know it might come across a bit cheesy, like if you just see it without seeing the whole show, but that whole, like, you get the whole, like, what's it called? Like, not flashbacks, like kind of like montage of like all the, but with like this emotional like context behind it, because it will start off with like a character looking at another character before they say goodbye, and then they show like, I don't know. Yeah. Deep Space Nine, that shit is,
And like, just the last bit about Star Trek, because I know it's one of the main reasons we both gravitated towards it anyway, which we partially touched on there. But the fact that race isn't an issue.
100%.
And like, for a lot of people, it was the fact that they saw Uhura.
Yeah.
Like, even Martin Luther King.
Yes. Told her, don't you fucking dare. Don't you. So for those who don't know, this is like well, I guess it's widely known within like the Star Trek community and the black community, but what's her name?
I always forget it.
But yeah, personally, beautiful lovely actress who played Uhura was going to quit Star Trek, and Martin Luther fucking King Jr. told her, don't you dare, like, this is so important for us, you need to do, and he was fucking right. Like, he was fucking right. And then we got people like Whoopi Goldberg and
exactly.
Yeah.
Did you watch that that little thing on the with Will Wheaton?
No.
With the Whoopi interview.
No, Will Wheaton interviews Whoopi Goldberg. No, cut the cameras.
No, I was in tears.
Oh shit!
Because she basically says the only reason she wanted to get into acting, seeing Uhura, on TV,
100%, yeah.
Like,
ugh.
Like, imagine.
And also, like, Whoopi be having those heart, like, because that's that moment of when she talks to that autistic guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, because she's like, I just wish I had done a role that had like made a difference. And then he says, I'm autistic, and you as your role of Guinan, like, really like taught me loads of things, and it made me join the Star Trek social club, and like I now have friends, I have a wife, and like, bitch, boo-hooing, boo-hooing, bitch. Oh my days, like that is like, oh yeah, and you know she don't cry like that, so like it was like, but yeah, I don't know how rambled all that shit was about fucking Star Trek, but yeah, that's the tea. Like, Star Trek is my absolute number one. It was hard to decide between that and Star Wars, because I really have grown up with both of them kind of equally. But like, in terms of like what Star Trek did to my intelligence as a person, and like how my moral compass, like, you know, it is really guided me through life. Like, it really, really has. And not that all these things on the list, even the honorable mentions have done that, but like, I just can't ignore how much stuff. I mean, God, there's almost 1,000 episodes. Well, no, it's like 750 odd episodes. And
I actually counted it the other day, and
yeah,
it's pretty much it's just about, no, it's going to be beating Doctor Who in
it's got
1 week.
Wow. And people love to say, I swear to God, I saw this on like Wikipedia or some shit one time, and it's like, oh, Marvel, when they launched the first cinematic universe, the hot dog, reverse. Nope. Star Trek was for sure the first multimedia universe. Like, for sure. Like, for fucking, they were doing it. I think so. Okay, technically, the monster films the original monster films of Universal were the first, the Dracula, the Man Wolf, or what the fuck. Yeah, those films. But Star Trek is legit. It was the first thing to cross TV, books, films, games, and it was because think about like the Star Trek films, like
because
they're on like in the 80s and 90s, and they're fucking crossing over with everything. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Now
that I think about it like that, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even to the 60s, because you had the TV show, then you had the animated show, and yeah.
that gif is still one of my favourites. Because it perfectly encapsulates
Star Trek has some great
West
gifs
as a person.
Yeah.
In one phase of an animation. Just that ridiculously jittery movement from his hand from down by his side to his mouth in the most ridiculous fashion.
Oh my god.
But it's so him, and it works.
Oh. But yeah.
Like everyone else kind of like felt like a Scooby-Doo character, except for when it was like solo shots.
Yeah.
Like that one.
Oh, we did it. We reached the end of the list.
Half our bitch.
Wow, that took longer than we thought. Cool. But I think it's safe to say... Well, I think... Oh, apologies for it being so long. But this was our first episode, and we've been talking about doing this for a while. I'm actually kind of gagged that we're sitting here, and even though it took all day, I've had like so much fun.
Yeah.
Our next episodes will not be as long, as we will be focusing on one topic and not technically 20. We did 20 topics today, pretty much. Well, I guess some of them we had on both of our lists.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But I think our next episode will be just the two of us, and then after that, I think we're going to have my sister as a guest. Yeah. Yes. I don't know. This is our first exit. How do we say goodbye?
Well, maybe we should wait for the thingy, or
we'll do it on my phone because the camera battery's.
All right,
Okay.
Yeah. What should we say? There must be like some cool little like alien pun, because we had like.
We don't even remember what we said.
We could just say peace out, Earthlings. Earthlings. I love saying Earthlings. Peace out, Earthlings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace out, Earthlings.
Let's do it one more time. Let's do it. Okay. Ready? Peace out, Earthlings.